observe our thoughts rather than just reacting to them. And, the first time I realized the thought process that I had going on, I would not talk to a dog like that, what was going on inside here. And that to me was an awakening of, looking in the mirror and going, what am I actually doing? Rather than what I'm feeling. What am I doing? How am
I think
reacting?
our reaction to everything that hits us is everything. It's how we react to the information that's being presented to us, through our senses. And I think that's it's the wisdom as we draw more wisdom, and like you've had an awakening process. I think that's the same thing could happen to us. Our reaction and our attitude and our viewpoint towards that same action changes, the situation changes, and the energy of the situation changes. You're able to overcome your fears and stuff. So thank you so much, John, for your inputs today. Anything else you want to add?
No, it's. I think it's our. If we can be honest with our actions rather than succumb to our feelings, we tend to think that our feelings are more true than our actions, and
right.
That's a big awakening to realize that isn't. Our feelings may be true, but they may not be the truth.
Mm-hmm. It's transitory. It's temporal. The feeling doesn't everything in life and nature and all this phenomenon is temporary. So once we once we understand that it's all transitory in nature, then I think it lessens the impact and the effect.
Yes, very much so.
Well, thank you so much, John, for your contribution.
My pleasure.
So, Brad, thank you for joining this morning. Would you like to say a few words on this topic?
Yeah, guys, Ken and John, you guys are such a hard act to follow. Can you hear me okay?
A little soft. Is that way you can turn on the microphone or the volume a little louder?
Okay, maybe I'll just I'll shout.
A lot better. A lot better.
All right.
It's okay. You can shout.
I'm telling you, John and Ken, you guys are such a hard act to follow. You say things that are so wise, and it takes so much courage to say this. Fear of looking stupid has been a central problem in my life, from the earliest moments I can remember. And being afraid of looking stupid caused me to look stupid for, decades, until I got into college and I saw this clearly, and I had to extinguish that fear before I could get on with the rest of my life and do, my destiny. I had to look directly at that emotion of fear and open to it until that nauseating river of adrenaline was finally laid to rest. That fire, the river of fire was just extinguished in calm. And I did that largely through meditation and mindfulness and, facing that nonsense, facing that nightmare inside of me and accepting it and allowing myself to float forward and do those things that I needed to do in order to be authentic in this world. But I tell you what, following you guys, there's nothing left to say, really. If we're talking about the wonders of nature, I'm an atheist. I don't believe in a personal God. There's no, big homeboy on a throne in heaven who listens to my prayers and answers them. But on the other hand, I have a love for nature, a reverence for the magic and the miracle of nature, that which simply explodes into being, like the Big Bang, like quantum reality, quantum fields, like Newtonian physics, relativistic reality, the emergence of life, from physics into chemistry into life. And then lastly, human life, awareness. We are nature being aware of the underlying awareness in nature. We bring love into reality. We bring justice into reality and authentic mindful power. These things that emerge, man, they deserve reverence and love and respect. It's magic. We don't make it happen. We're just witnesses to it. The wonders of man, it's amazing, that we ever started making tools, that we started using fire, made it through the Industrial Revolution in one piece. External and internal combustion, inventing the wheel, inventing the wing, architecture like Göbekli Tepe and the pyramids. Speaking of pyramids, right here where I live, a couple miles up the freeway, we have a honky pyramid, a pyramid of trash, where all the communities in the high John, you're laughing at me. Be careful. This could happen to you. We have a mountain of trash. It is a pyramid. I should take a picture and show you. It has 4 sides. Trucks go in a circle up to the top of the pyramid and deposit our monthly trash on the peak of the pyramid. And then for next month, it just gets a little wider and the peak is a little higher. That's our contribution, baby. The white man's contribution to architecture. And there's the other stuff, X-rays, antibiotics, anesthetics. But, the downside of this wonders of man is pollution, global warming, that kind of stuff. I'm going to leave that to my kids to solve. It's my job to complete the honky pyramid. It's their job to cool the planet off.
Thanks for putting that responsibility on the next generation, Brad.
Yeah, they're lazy. They need to get busy.
Speaking of the next generation, you guys both were saying something earlier about overcoming fears, and I think you kind of overcame that later on in life, and I was wondering if there's some young generation and participants on the line today. I think that's very important. Is I think we gotta help the younger generation, overcoming their fears at a younger age, so that they can be, even full of capacity and capabilities to manifest and express themselves in a way that can really give back, not only to themselves and be all that they can be, but really be the leaders of the next generation. I think that's an important part as well. You're overcoming those fears, and all of us have that. Overcoming various fear. Like for John, it was fear of failure. For you, Brad, was kind of fear of looking stupid. And we all have whatever that demons that we have. And I think for the younger generation, like learning to embrace that fear and confront it head on, and knowing that it's just a mental manufacturing within ourselves, and be able to overcome that, I think is really key so that they can be all they can be. And I think I'm the same way. I have overcome with fear of a lot of things in my life, and it takes me 40 years, like John, to probably figure out that what it's not real. And I think it's and I hope to convey that message to the younger generation. Like for example, I think you Phước Độ, you on the line. I saw you jump on. Would you like to say a few words? You Phước Độ. she's incredible. I think she's 10, 12 years, 12, 14 years old or something. I think she's tend to jump on and participate in this with us. Are you on the line? Okay, if not, we can probably move on to the next
Can I see
next
just two little
guest.
things? Just two
Yeah,
little
go ahead.
things.
Go ahead, Brad. Yeah. Go ahead.
We have to. The thing is about children and the fear of looking bad, the fear of looking stupid.
Yeah.
We need to help them though. We need to be enlightened parents and to help our kids become more aware and more calm, and to tell them, that the genetic traits that they have are gifts to help mankind get through the generation, the problems that are facing their generation. Their individual differences, our children's individual differences, are mankind's strengths. So enlightened parents will help kids get over their fear of looking different and looking bad, but also the social, the programs, they're always on a device, TikTok and stuff like that. That stuff is causing kids to feel bad about who they are. It's leading to fear of not looking as good as those faces they're seeing on their devices, and depression. So they're not going to get over this by themselves. They need our help.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a great point. I think that's and I think the social media situation is at times can be toxic. It's just how you balance that. It can be toxic for kids that are still like a sponge. They still, they have, they see what they, what other people perceive is reality, and they sometimes don't have the wisdom to see beyond that. That is just people are posting fake stuff. It's not real. People only want to post the best of themselves and not the worst of themselves. Right, Brad? On social media. Yeah.
Here John and I are talking about looking stupid and feeling stupid. And that authentic communication about that. Well, hell, we're old adults, but kids don't see that. They just see each other looking so cruel on social media.
I agree with you. It needs to be, monitored on how we consume that social media, especially with kids. Okay. Anyone else have? Yun, would you like to say a few words on this topic?
Oh, thank you to inviting me. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Well, I don't know how to say, but like Brad and John already said all the wise things and the smart things that they could, and like Guruji's always said that we need to travel to see the wonders of the life, and to see with our own eyes. And every time we go, we learn something new. Even in same place, in very same place, but every time we visit, I don't know about you, but every time I visit same place, I find something new. That's the wonder to me. Yeah, that's the wonder. And one thing like Guruji, as always, I'm a simple person, so I always say simple things. Like Guruji, the fact that wherever he is in the world, he will keep his schedule. At the weekend, talks on Zoom on 5 a.m. and 5 p.m. He only misses when it's impossible for him to go online. That's the wonder. Because I don't think we can be that so, strong-minded to do it, to keep it. Because when we travel, it's time zone, it's a lot of the traveling, adapt to a new environment. but he keep it.
Yeah.
And he's very insist to keep it, and he tell us very simple things so we can follow, that even simple person can follow and practice. That is Buddhism to me, and that is a wonder. And that's all I can say. Thank you.
Thank you. That's actually that's a wonderful perspective and sharing. I think you're spot on.
Yeah.
I think, you know, the wonders is the changes with that we improve it within ourselves. And Guruji is a lesson, is a one we can learn from because of his teaching, and but his habits, you know, his simple but you know, habits and his discipline. And I think what I learned most from Guru is just his love for all sentient beings, you know, and that compassion that he has not only for his students but for everyone. And so he wants to keep these, you know, these talk on a routine basis, and he's very disciplined about it because he wants to engage with us and he wants to continue to help us. And I think that's you're spot on. I think that's one of the things we deeply, you know, learn from Guru as well. So yeah. Okay. Anyone else would like to say a few words? Tan Pham, are you on? Would you like to share some ideas?
Yeah. Good morning. Let me try to get my camera too.
Good morning.
Yeah. Morning. How are you?
Good. Everything's great. Life's a blessing.
Okay. Yeah. So I guess for our topic today, just want the same thing in line with you know, like the wonder and nature and human creations. So I think like Guruji already mentioned, don't just, you know, when you have a chance travel, just like the previous person just mentioned, just don't read books. Read books when you have time, right? You have time, you have opportunity to go. Knowledge, you know, by reading books, but being there in person, experience it. I think that's like you learn a lot, and by seeing it, and it's different, you know, when you read it, when you can imagine so much, but you actually see it in reality. It's actually see, you know, the whole, you know, for example, Grand Canyons. I went with my family. That's like it's like a scene that's unreal to me when I look at it. It's like how it's formed with all the patterns, you know, how's the nature, you know, going through a lot of surveillance, you know, like to create that like piece of like wonder, like the art of it. Look, it's like surreal, you know. You look at it, you're like, how it's formed. You just wonder. I'm like, but when you take picture, when you show to people, I'm like, is that real? You know, is that like a real pictures? I'm like, yes, you know, that's the picture I took, you know, for in Grand Canyons. It looked basically it looked so nice. And same thing with a lot of architectures that mankind create, you know, like the pyramid. That's another example. Along with, you know, if you can imagine how people get into space, you know, the space shuttle, the rocket, you know, all that is just created by mankind. You know, all that. There's just a lot of challenge that we're able to overcome and making progress. You know, always making progress. You know, before just going to the moon, but now going to the Mars, and then, you know, it just pushed boundaries. So I guess like once a person can imagine it, it potentially, you know, someone could make it possible. It just, you know, our mind is very resilient and strong, and, you know, being innovative, things, you know, could be possible. So I guess the lesson learned from all this is just the nature, you know, and how it formed, how it's going to surveillance to get there. I guess our role we can do is, you know, trying to protect it and then learn from it, you know, like how similar, you know, what can do to keep it, you know, we can be sustainable be creativities and innovative between the two beauties and the human achievements. You know, those lessons I think we can draw from. And one thing about you know, another thing, you know, Master always mentioned that, you know, like travel and then learn different culture, learn different things. So I think last time I visited the temple, he was having a lot of in the temple he had a lot of trees. So he traveled different places. So he able to bring back to the, I guess, the temple, you know, all the tree that he think could benefit from all of everyone, because he bring a lot of tree that have it can treat that your medications. So certain tree can help you fight sickness and stuff. And then he always share those trees. So if you go there, if you want to, you know, take in, it can grow it somewhere else. He always spread the values that he learned from, you know, anywhere. He always want to share, always trying to make it in a way that, you know, people can access to it and spread the knowledge, and then how can help mankind and how to create, you know, like a nature. So that's something I kind of learned from him, trying to not only think for yourself, but, you know, think that you can help other peoples too. And then by doing that, by, you know, you have to go out there and explore, you know, travel, explore, study, and you know, find the good things in everything. You know, don't you look at the bad thing, always look at positive thing when you look at certain things. And the pyramid, you know that the backstory is going to be, you know, a lot of negative stuff, but we only focus on the positive sides of being, how to build a pyramid, you know, the wonder of it, rather than to focus on the negative. Same thing with natures. Yeah, that's all I can add, Ken.
Yeah, thank you so much, Tan. And I'll add to that is, you know, from what you shared is, you know, mankind in the history of civilization always have the tendency to conquer nature and build technology structures to overcome and conquer nature. But I think peace and happiness, you know, Guruji has always, you know, continued to spread this message is when we find in harmony with nature is where, you know, we find more peace and happiness than conquering nature. I think that's what you were alluding to, you know, with all this advancement that we have as a civilization. But where is that getting us? It's getting us a pyramid in Brad's backyard with, you know, a puddle of trash. And that's you know, that's one of the fallback of the advancement of technology and then civilization to date is, you know, we're not in harmony with nature. And I think, you know, like you shared the example, Tan, is, you know, when Guru travel and he brings back different trees and he plant them at the Vietnam temple in Bodh Gaya. Actually, Vietnam temple in Bodh Gaya is probably the most has the most trees and nature out of all the other temples. And Guruji, you know, specifically designed his temple like that, because other temples, as wonder and big and grand as they are, you know, it's you know, it doesn't have the human, the nature element to it. And when you walk into Vietnam temple in Bodh Gaya, all you see is just a wonder garden, and it's very serene. And like you said, Pan, like he brings different trees with different medicinal purposes to plant there, and that's why when we're in harmony with nature, we learn to, you know, work with nature for all of its wonders. You know, the medicinal, you know, elements of all the plants and trees. I mean, that's I think that's where I think we find, you know, internally the more peace and happiness. And when you walk into Vietnam temple, automatically the just the ambience, you know, the atmosphere that the temple has through the trees is very serene. I think that's where we find more peace and happiness, you know, harmonizing with nature versus, you know, conquering nature. I think that's kind of your point, Tan. I appreciate that. Anything else? Anyone? Any other comments? Anyone to say anything? Well, if not, then I'll just conclude with.
Hello.
Go ahead. Yes, go ahead. Yes.
Hi, Minh Đức Đạt. This is
Hello.
Anh Đức. Minh Đức.
Hello, and Dirk. How are you? Yes,
how
yes.
are you?
Welcome.
Good.
Great. I mean,
I took actually I took my wife's account, but I knew that you guys didn't know who I am. But I just want to just share a little bit because I don't want I know you guys forget me.
Yeah, of course. We're always welcome. Always happy to have your contribution.
I
And
tried to,
welcome,
yeah.
welcome.
Usually,
Are,
yeah. Usually,
are you taking
Sunday morning.
a group out hiking generally on Sunday
Yeah,
morning? You hike
yeah.
for a group of people? Yeah.
Yeah, usually every Sunday morning we kind of jogging around and hiking. Yeah, that's why I don't want to I don't want to show photo. So just a microphone. So I don't want just say a little bit. So
Sure,
just
please.
yeah
Yep.
yeah and subject topic today is very interesting, and I would like to say a little bit. My wife and I always prepare when we travel, and we did prepare like after we met master, and we always did, and master always remind us to prepare all the nature and travel and all that, and yeah, we did, and it's kind of it's hard to before we met master and all you guys, we didn't know anything about what's going on ahead of us, and the day by day we kind of prepare because we learn a lot of stuff from you guys, and it's a beautiful way to join the Zoom and the listening all you guys a different view, and it's a good idea, give us opinion to learn from there, and then move on, and then one day we might be together, join together, and then get together, and then we learn from more stuff, and Buddhist, and and we kind of walk up to the mountain, and kind of the signal is not that good, so I'm kind of get some breathe. and, I just want to say a little bit about my idea. So I know you guys don't have time, and thank you for
Thank you.
just just join in, and just make sure that you don't forget.
Yeah, no, I appreciate
And,
your sharing. Yeah, for sure.
yeah, I just want to
Especially when you're
just
on a
want
hike. And
yeah, yeah.
you should show us the hiking picture, because again, when you're hiking, you're in with nature. I'm sure. I think
Yeah,
that's very
yeah,
beautiful. That
yeah.
hike.
That's why
Yeah.
you need to you working all day, all week long, and then that's what the weekend,
Mhm.
Sunday morning, you have to get out and see the beautiful nature on all
Yeah.
over especially in California. You know that, right? We know that. Yeah. So
Yeah.
and yeah, thank you. I appreciate, and then you know you know good to see you and see you, all you guys, and nice
Yeah.
to talking to you. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for your contribution. And that, yeah, whether
Thank you. We
guru,
did that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Does anyone else want to share anything? If not, then I'll just kind of end with my small comments. Whether Guruji is here or not here, I think it's important that we continue these sessions, because it's about sharing. I think we all have words of wisdom from our collective experiences, and everyone's contribution matters. I think it's looking at different lens through different struggles or achievement. I think it's important that we share. So I think whether Guruji is here or not, we should continue these sessions, because for the most part, like Yum, Yuduk said, that he commits to be on every single meeting, and that's just an incredible discipline that he has. Even it's 5 a.m. in different time zone, he still be available to do the call in that time zone. And if he has the discipline to do that, why wouldn't we, right? And the Dharma is not fixed. The Dharma is personable. Like everyone has a different experience towards towards the life that they want to share. So I think it's very important. The last thing I want to say is, on the topic of wonders of nature is and human creation is, I think nature is obviously is miraculous, but I think where we got to be careful is to appreciate nature and all the miracle and wonders of the world for they are, but the key is don't be attached to it. Don't be attached to the form, because all this phenomena form are, if we dig deeper into quantum mechanics and quantum field, it's an illusion. It's all transitory, and everything, all phenomena, all form is impermanent. So while we can appreciate nature for all of its wonders, we got to be careful not attaching to any form or matter, and even concepts or everything, mental formations within ourselves, because that's illusion, is one of the causes of our continual ignorance, which lead to our suffering. And I think I'll end with that is we just be able to learn to detach ourselves from all forms, whether phenomena that's being created, appreciate for what it is, but don't attach to it. And I think we can be when we learn to let go, I think that's where the liberation within us, and that's where we probably get closer to the supreme wisdom of the Buddha's teaching, is learning to let go. And that's how we get out of this samsara, this cycle of wheel that we keep on reincarnating. So I'll end with that. And if anyone else have anything else to contribute, I think it's been a good conversation. Thank you so much for everyone joining from different parts of the world. And John, thank you. Have a good night. Go to sleep. And there's no earthquake. Next week we will meet again.
Okay.
Namaste. Thank you, everyone.
Namaste.
Thank you for
Good night. Good night.
Good night. Good morning. Take care. Bye-bye.
Recording